everyone, I'm Courtney. In this video, I'm going to show you what a week of language learning looks like in my life. I learn languages through a method called comprehensible input. I've listened to almost 900 hours of my target language. I'm learning Spanish. I'm going to show you what my everyday process looks like. Right now, I have a few minutes before I have to start work. I've already listened to some comprehensible input while I was driving to work. I listened to a video about a girl talking about different hair lengths, different hairstyles she'd had. I listened to another video about types of food in Madrid. I listened to a video about Colombian festivals. And I just got done listening to a video about mental health. So I had a good variety. Let me show you the app that I use. This is the app that I use. It's called Dreaming Spanish. And as you can see, there are videos about all different topics. And there's intermediate videos. There's advanced videos. And I like to use the filters at the top. So right now I'm filtering by old. The old videos on Dreaming Spanish are easier to listen to in the car while I'm driving. And then I also filter by the difficulty. The newer videos on Dreaming Spanish are good, but I like to watch them. I don't like to just listen, I like to watch. I think the newer videos are more entertaining visually, so I like to watch them. So now I'm going to go to work, and I'll talk to you the next time I have an update. Okay, it's after my work event. I just went to the store and I picked up some snacks. I got this protein bar and a banana. And while I eat my snacks, I'm going to listen to more comprehensible input. It's a 23-minute drive to the place I'm going to climb. So I like to filter by duration. The duration is how long a video lasts, how long a video takes to watch. And so I'm going to try and find a video that's around 20 minutes to watch while I drive to my next location. Hi everyone, it's about 8 p.m. I have had a busy day. I went to work, then I went climbing with my friends, then I went for a trail run, and now I just got home. So I'm going to eat dinner and take a shower. I'm going to give my brain a little bit of a break. I'm not going to listen to Spanish while I eat dinner or take a shower. But after that, I plan on listening to some Spanish. I'm not sure what I'll listen to yet. I just want to hit my 120-minute goal for the day. So maybe some YouTube videos. My brain is feeling a little bit tired, so I probably will watch content that's a little bit easier. Not too easy, but maybe some advanced videos on Dreaming Spanish instead of native YouTube content. I think right now is a really good example of how helpful it is to have a platform like Dreaming Spanish, or in your case, for learning English Sponge, or my channel. It's really helpful to have videos already ready to go. It's really helpful to have videos prepared that you can just watch, and you don't really have to think about it too much. I think one thing that people forget about creating habits is that to create a habit, you have to make it easy for yourself. You have to make it as easy as possible to create the habit. Otherwise, you'll give up. You'll quit. So having some content already prepared in your target language is crucial. It's perfect if you want to be consistent, because when I'm tired, like I am right now, I don't have to think. I just press play. Hi everyone! It is another day of language learning, and right now I have about an hour and 40-minute drive, and so I'm going to listen to some comprehensible input on my drive, and it depends on what type of comprehensible input I'm listening to, how much I have to prepare. So I didn't prepare ahead of time. If I had prepared ahead of time, then I might be able to pick something on YouTube. I've been watching a lot of National Geographic and their animal documentaries, but I'm not sure if that's what I'm in the mood for. I'm not really sure what I'm in the mood for. So when that happens, I just go to Dreaming Spanish and I click on a video, and while I'm driving, I make sure it's on autoplay. That means it will just keep playing videos one after the other. So I'm going to try and get most of my input on the way to the place I'm going. Sometimes it's easier if you listen for a while and then take a break and then go back to listening. It gives your brain a little bit of a chance to rest. And so I'm not sure how much I'll listen to, but my goal is at least 30 minutes.
Cuando estás jugando a videojuegos, sobre todo ciertos tipos de videojuegos, ellos requieren...
Alright, so I am done with my work event, and now I have about a 2-hour drive home. And one of my friends that I made on Tandem wants to chat with me. I've never chatted with this friend before. We've sent each other messages and audios and photos, but I've never talked to them on the phone. So this is my first time. So we'll see how it goes. I wish that for my first call with them, I wasn't driving, so I could have a video call with them. But I'd like to talk to them, and this is a good opportunity. So they have a decent level of English, and I have a decent level of Spanish, so I think it'll go okay. If their English level was lower, I wouldn't call them in the car. Or if my Spanish level was lower, I wouldn't call them in a car. I think it's important to make a good first impression, and it's important for people not to feel frustrated on their first call with you. So I've built up a little bit of trust with this person through sending messages for probably about a month or 2 months now. And so, yeah, I'm excited. Let's call my friend, and I'll tell you how it goes after. Good morning, everybody. It's another day of trying to learn Spanish. Yesterday, I ended my day with 104 minutes of Spanish that I listened to. My goal was 120 minutes, so I got close. Sometimes I try to hit my goal. I try to push through and hit my goal. Other times, like yesterday, I'm fine getting close. Yesterday, I was really tired when I got home from work. One thing that I've noticed when I listen to more Spanish is that at first, I get really tired. When you're listening to a new language, your brain is working really hard, so I think it makes you tired. At the beginning, when I was a beginner, I could only listen to about 30 minutes, maybe 45, or I would get horrible headaches. It was crazy, actually. One tip that I have for listening to a lot of comprehensible input is to break it into smaller pieces. to break it into chunks. So instead of trying to listen to 1 or 2 hours all at once, listen to 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there. And that's exactly what I'm doing right now. One thing I've noticed about myself is that if I don't listen to comprehensible input in the morning, then I'm less likely to listen to comprehensible input throughout the day. I like to listen to at least 5 to 10 minutes in the morning, right when I wake up. Right now, I'm driving to the pool. It's actually my first day of going to the pool, and I'm really excited. I'll make a vlog about that later. But on my drive to the pool, I'm going to listen to a 5-minute skit. A skit is when people act and they're characters, and a lot of the skits that I listen to on Dreaming Spanish are funny. So I'm going to listen to this skit. It's from Esther. Esther is a guide from the Dominican Republic. But I like these 5-minute skits to kind of just warm up for the day.
Gracias por llamar a Destiny Hotline, el servicio donde ayudamos con su problema del destino. O intentamos.
I just got done swimming. I haven't swam in a long time. I used to be on a swim team, and I did that in high school. And then in college, I just stopped swimming. There wasn't any reason. I just stopped. I had so much fun, and I signed up for a membership at this pool. So if I keep going, I might buy waterproof headphones. If I bought waterproof headphones, I could listen to comprehensible input while I swim. We'll see. They were playing music in there that my parents play. They were playing the type of music my parents play. Here we call it oldies, like classic hits. And I kind of liked listening to it. So we'll see if I buy the headphones. But for now, on my drive home, I have 15 minutes. So I'm going to listen to a little bit more Spanish before I get home and make breakfast. Oh, I should mention too, I wanted to give you an update about my call with my friend last night. So it went really well. We talked for about 45 minutes, and it was super fun. I had a great time. I think it's so important to have real conversations with native speakers. And I'm at the level where I can do okay. I can hold a conversation. If you have a lower level of your target language, one thing you can do is crosstalk. Crosstalk sounds a little bit weird, but it's really helpful. So crosstalk is where you speak your own language and your partner speaks their own language. You both speak your native language. It's designed to help you ask questions, describe objects, and just get to know each other. It also helps with your listening comprehension. There's not as much pressure to have to respond. You can fully listen and take in what the people are saying. You can fully listen and try to focus on the meaning of the other person's words without having the pressure to respond in a language you're not fully comfortable with. So I would encourage you to go on Tandem or italki or any of the language exchange apps and try to find a partner to practice with. Even if it's not regular conversations on the phone, you can always text them and send audios. I have about 3 to 5 people that I stay in constant communication with. I text them, send them audios, give them updates about my life, and we've become friends. I think it's my favorite part. Actually, I don't think. I know it's my favorite part about learning another language. Good morning, everyone. Yesterday was such a busy day. I had the day off, but I had a lot of things planned. I made some videos, I hung out with some friends, and besides the morning, I barely had any time to listen to comprehensible input. So I mostly just listened to comprehensible input on my drives, and at the end of the day, I think I had 42 minutes listened to. And then while I was making dinner, I listened, and then I went to bed kind of early. I went to bed around 9:30, and I just laid in bed and watched some really easy stuff. My brain was super tired. I haven't watched beginner videos on Dreaming Spanish in a long time, and I think it was just what I needed yesterday. And oddly, like the pace was really slow for the beginner videos, but it felt like I was learning a lot of just like daily conversation types of things because I watched a video about trying different snacks, trying different drinks, and trying different desserts. And it was just fun. I think one thing with language learning is that sometimes you just have to do the thing that feels fun to stay consistent, right? Like, it's better to do the thing that feels fun sometimes than to just force yourself to do the hard thing. I think if you force yourself to do the hard, unfun thing too often, then I think that you'll lose motivation. I'm not saying that you should avoid what's hard for you. I'm just saying language learning is a long process, and so make most of that process fun because the process on its own is going to not be fun sometimes. So make it as fun as possible. And now I'm driving to the pool. I'm going to go swimming again, and I'm going to listen to a video. I'm probably just going to put on whichever video I see first, just to get something in this morning. I have a really busy day today as well, but it's a work day, so I'm going to try and get as much comprehensible input in between meetings, in between going swimming, and then later this evening I'm going to the climbing gym. And I also am driving 4.5 hours tonight for work, so I'm probably going to listen to most of my comprehensible input on my 4.5 hour drive. So I'm not too worried about getting my listening hours during the day today. I'll probably get them this evening during my long drive. Also, I'm really excited because my language learning partner, Anna, is going on a trip, and it's her first trip outside of her country. So I'm really excited for her to send me pictures and videos and all that type of stuff. I'm just really excited for her, and I think that it will be fun to see all of her updates in Spanish. So one thing about Anna and I is that we text every day. We have each other on WhatsApp, and one day we'll text all in Spanish, and the next day we text all in English. And we've been doing that for about a year now, and I think it's really, really good because it gives you a little bit of a break the one day to just speak your own native language. On the days where I'm speaking English, my native language, with her, I can just kind of chill and help her out and help her learn and not think about it too much. Like, I can just answer her texts as if I was texting a friend here that spoke English. And then on the days where it's Spanish, I can learn and I have to put a little bit more effort into it. And I think it's good because it's a good balance where both people are learning, both people are benefiting. But especially at the beginning, it can be pretty time consuming to answer someone's texts and audio messages back in your target language. And so just for efficiency purposes, it kind of helps to have one day of one and one day of the other. And then my other couple of friends that I talk to, I kind of talk to them in a combination of English and Spanish. We really don't have any set schedule, but I think their level of English is a lot higher. So I kind of just text them however I feel, whether it's more English or more Spanish. What I have noticed is that with friends that have a higher level of English, I have to work really hard not to default to English. Like, I have to work really hard to force myself to text in Spanish because I just get excited and I start texting them in English. And I don't think that teaches you to use new vocabulary or to use new grammar structures, because if every time you get excited you just text in your native language, then you're losing a huge opportunity to practice saying the things that you would say normally, but in your other language. So I've tried to make a conscious effort, especially with my one friend that's bilingual, to text her in Spanish, because it would be so easy just to text her all in English. I love our conversations and we get really deep, and really deep conversations make me want to use the language that I feel really comfortable with, that I feel like I can express myself really deeply in. But I need to learn to be able to do that in Spanish. So I think it's important. And I'm starting to hit a level where, at least when I'm texting, when I'm writing, I can express fairly deep thoughts. But yeah, I don't know. It's very interesting. So I am unpacking my car for work. And while I do that, I'm listening to comprehensible input. I've been really into watching Pasapalabra. It's like, in English, it's Pass the Word. And it's this game where you have to basically guess words for every letter of the alphabet. And so it's really interesting and fun. It keeps you engaged in what you're listening to. And I guess maybe that would be one of my tips for learning English is maybe you can go on YouTube, or you can go somewhere where you can find game shows and you can watch game shows. Game shows are helpful because they usually have specific rules, specific formats. Contestants keep their answers to short, brief statements, and the host keeps the game going. So, I don't know. I really find game shows interesting and fun. It's a fun way to continue to learn a language. There was also a series I was listening to about trivia, and it's fun to see if you know the answers to the trivia as well as learn new words at the same time. So, anyways, I have to get back to putting all this into my car. But while I do that, I'm going to continue to listen. Oh, one more thing. So, this morning I had to go to the doctor. It was just to look at something small, not a big deal. But I find that whenever I have a life situation, like the doctor or the dentist or a car repair or something that I know I'm going to have to do more than once, I try to use those situations as a way to learn new vocabulary. So, for example, today I had to get my hand numbed. I had to put a numbing solution on my hand, and I didn't know the word for numb in Spanish. So I looked up the word and I tried to tell as many Spanish speaking friends as I could that I had to get my hand numbed this morning. And I still don't remember the word completely. It starts with an E. I could probably get there if I thought about it more, but it just takes repetition until some of those words start clicking, which is why listening to comprehensible input is so important, because it gives you the repetition in the context that your brain needs to start understanding those words and start having them stick in your mind.
La casa de una persona icónica, una chica que a mí me cae muy bien. Esa chica es Emma Chamberlain. Emma es muy graciosa.
So last night I had a 4.5 hour drive, and I thought I would listen to some Spanish on that drive, but I actually ended up calling and talking to one of the people that I work with on English Sponge for a while, which was super fun. And then after that, I had a call with my Mexican friend, and we talked for about an hour, and that was also super fun. And so I didn't listen to as much Spanish as I thought I would, but honestly, talking with my Mexican friend was an hour of input, and I think that it's funny because sometimes when you're trying to get a lot of input in your language, you forget that native speakers, like actually speaking the language, is the thing that you want to interact with the most, the thing that's actually going to be the most helpful, and the thing that is the reason you're learning the language, right? So, yeah, I had a really fun conversation with both of those two people, one in English and one in Spanish. And then today, I have suddenly realized that I can listen to all of the intermediate videos that are on Dreaming Spanish if I put them in 1.5 times speed. So if I put them in 1.5 times speed, it doesn't distort the voice, but it picks up the pace. It gets it a little bit closer to natural speed. So that's what I've been doing. I'm really hooked on Augustina's series about reviewing celebrity homes. I think I might do something similar on this channel because it just seems fun, but I think I'll probably not do it with celebrities. I'm not sure yet. Anyways, that's what I've been watching today, is her whole series about how celebrities' homes are and giving her opinions on it, and it's been really fun. I am kind of taking a break from so much native media. I have been listening to and watching a lot of native media, and I have to focus really, really hard. And so I think I need to go back and listen to some easier stuff because I need to have a balance. I can't just listen to native media that's really hard all the time, because you miss things, you miss words, and you think you're understanding more than what you actually are understanding. So going back and listening to these intermediate videos, but just at a faster speed, has been really fun and interesting today. Today I listened to a video. It was a comedy video from one of the creators on Dreaming Spanish. His name is Andres. And I haven't listened to much else Spanish today. Honestly, the past day or two, I haven't listened to a lot of Spanish in general. I've been busy, and that's okay. Language learning is a marathon, not a sprint. Thanks for watching my week of language learning. And before you go, I have an exciting announcement to make. I am making something that's really cool, and I feel like it's going to be awesome for you. Something that I really like is being able to see my progress learning a language. I've created a collection of audios. I've created a collection of audios in English that is designed to be listened to over the course of a year. There are different audios on all different themes, topics, and levels. I'll explain more in my video on July 8th, but get excited because I think this is going to be awesome. It's going to help you be able to see your progress in English comprehension. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Courtney, and I'll see you later. Don't forget to tune back in on July 8th to see the full announcement. Bye!